When it was getting towards the end of the financial year, and there was mention of sums and things like that to be done, there were thoughts of high finance at the Skylark.
It's no use worrying about it,
said Nutty Noah.
I'm inclined to agree with you,
nodded Nelly, knitting.
The best thing to do when you haven't got any is to forget all about it. What's not there's not minded.
Arr! I agree with that. Best thing to do when you ain't got any is to forget all about it.
Oh, Nutty Noah. You know I do agree entirely. That's the best thing when you haven't got any. What's not there's not missed.
Nope. Poor but happy. You're right. Up to the map room. Belay them sums. All aboard the Skylark! All aboard the Skylark! Good gracious me! I think we've hit the jackpot. Belay that knitting woman! Look at this! The place is rolling in money!
Steamed Nutty Noah.
That may well be, Nutty Noah, me dearest, but ask yourself, are they happy?
Said Nelly.
Bound to be!
Said Nutty.
Ahoy there, money! Nelly here wants to know if you're happy.
I'm surprised she even asked,
moaned old Bob, who just rolled up and hadn't rubbed shoulders with a threepenny bit since decimal day.
No, we're not happy.
Oh! You see, my dear?
Noted Nelly knowingly.
What's that then?
Demanded Nutty Noah.
It's that pack of gamblers.
Moaned old Bob.
They come every night and they gamble us away. Save us! Save us!
Oh, you poor things,
cried Nelly.
Oh, Nutty, my dear, I've an idea. Humphrey, stand there and muddle.
Me? A muddle? Humph!
Humphed Humphrey.
Humph!
Nutty Noah and the animals wandered about, wondering what. And Humphrey stood still, wondering what. When Nelly had finished, she was proud of her work.
If that's a jersey for Humphrey, I'm afraid it's a bit too big, Nelly, me old love,
said Noah.
This thing is bigger than both of us,
grunted Humphrey.
Sillies,
nattered Nelly.
It's a new home for the money, a piggy bank.
Well, I never,
sighed Nutty Noah.
A piggy bank.
Roll up,
shouted the animals, and the money rolled in.
Oh, we're safe! We're safe!
When a pack of wild playing cards appeared on the horizon and the savings went into a spin.
What's that now?
asked Nutty Noah.
The gamblers are back! Oh, what shall we do?
The bank is closed,
said Nelly firmly.
You'll get no change here, so why don't you playing cards do something more constructive with yourselves?
Well, ain't that something?
And Nelly had to agree.
Oh, I agree.
There weren't many days went by without someone saying something about something to do or somewhere to go. Wednesday was no different. Or was it Tuesday? That was the problem. The clock had stopped. Trying to keep track of time, Cedric was counting up to 60, time and time again. And Ahmed was counting the times Cedric counted up to 60.
38, 39, 35, 33, 34.
With all that counting going on, Nelly lost count of her stitches, time and time again.
No!
Maureen suggested a sports day, but nobody knew what time the race should start because the clock had stopped.
I know where we can get the time,
said Nutty.
We'd better be off then.
Nattered Nelly.
It's later than you think.
Oh, you're right, my dear,
nodded Nutty.
All aboard the Skylark! All aboard the Skylark!
It's very quiet,
said Nelly.
You're right, my dear.
Agreed Nutty, as they looked over the side of the Skylark and peered down the high street.
What a funny high street.
Said Rose.
I don't see anything funny about it.
She added.
What you mean is, it's funny it's so quiet.
Nattered Nelly wearily.
Oh,
Said Rose.
Them houses is all got faces.
Said Nutty.
Let's have a closer look.
So off they went, 2 by 1.
I think it's time we went home.
Said Humphrey.
how do you know?
Who said that?
Said Nutty.
I did.
Said a house.
A house with a voice.
Said Nelly.
How absurd. How do you know when it's time to go?
I am a clock.
Said the house.
How absurd.
Said Nelly.
It's true.
Said the house.
This is Cuckoo Land, but they've all gone, and heaven knows when they'll be back.
Who?
Said Nelly.
The cuckoos.
Said the clocks.
As soon as it gets cold, they fly away.
Probably having the time of their lives.
Quipped George.
Don't be rude.
He added.
Well, maybe we could help.
Said Nutty.
What do you think, Nelly, me dear?
I bet she says she could knit some cuckoos.
Said Maureen.
You were right.
She added, and followed the other animals to help Noah with clock-to-clock cuckoo deliveries.
Wunderbar!
Chirped the town hall clock, and everyone had the time of their lives.
Cuckoo! I'll give you cuckoo!
Said a big gruff cuckoo.
Oh, hello.
Said Nutty.
You're back. we were just off.
How time flies when you're enjoying yourself.
Said Nelly.
Nice meeting you. Goodbye.
Three 3,272, 3,273, 3,274.
Nutty Noah had opened his eyes at the beginning, and it was 3,275, and nothing had happened. There was still no breakfast.
Nelly, me dear, I can't go on like this forever.
You take a rest, and I'll take over.
Said Rose.
Oh, but I can't count anyway, so what's the point?
You can please yourselves who counts, but be sure of one thing. I'm far too busy knitting. Why don't you make your own breakfasts?
I'm inclined to agree with the lady.
Said Humphrey.
I agree.
He agreed.
No,
Said Nutty Noah.
I'll not make breakfast,
Why not?
Inquired Maureen.
because we won't be able to eat it. I know. A cafe. Some go out to dinner. We'll go out to breakfast. Now, what do you fancy? Bacon and egg? Pancakes and syrup?
400 hot cross buns.
I'll settle for pancakes.
Said Humphrey.
And syrup.
Said Humphrey.
That's settled then. All aboard the Skylark. All aboard the Skylark.
My little plan has worked.
Well, Nelly, my dear, I don't know where we are, but there's one thing I do know, and that is...
It's tea time. Come along, everyone. Let's find somewhere for tea.
Oh dear, oh dear. I'm awfully sorry,
Said a tiny little silver teaspoon.
but there isn't any tea. The tea geezers have broken down, and it really is just awful.
They ain't even gotten it down the canteen. And if we don't get some soon, them cups will crack up in this dry spell.
Oh, that dreadful spoon.
Said the little silver teaspoon.
I don't suppose you have a couple of spare tea bags. One shouldn't ask, I know, but...
Think nothing of it.
Boomed Nutty.
Nelly, any tea bags in the locker, my dear?
Oh, Nutty, there isn't a one. But wait, I've an idea.
She said, niggling to herself.
Dear, woman's work is never done.
Well,
Said Rose.
that's it. I wouldn't worry. There'll be tea for tea.
And sure enough, there was.
Come on, you gang. Help Nelly get them drilling rigs rigged, snapped Nutty Noah, admiring Niggly Nelly's latest knitted masterpiece. The animals worked the rigs in turns, and the teaspoons stirred with excitement as the first rig struck tea.
I'm afraid there's only iced tea,
said Nelly, rather disappointed with her efforts.
It's wonderful tea.
Said the silver teaspoon.
Yeah, I suppose it's all right.
Muttered the dreadful spoon from the canteen.
Well, as long as you're all happy, we'd better be off. Eh, what, Nutty? Nutty? What's the matter?
Well, I don't know about you lot, but I've got a cup of North Sea oil.
Nutty Noah and Ahmed were in the realms of the mystic East, looking into the future, and Nelly had been niggling for the whole of that morning.
Palm reading, prediction, prophecy and premonitions are not the sort of pastimes I would pursue.
She niggled.
But Nelly, me dear, it ain't a pastime. It's just an innocent little peep into the future. There ain't nothing wrong with it,
said Nutty Noah.
Now, Ahmed, where are we?
I see a hill.
Yes, go on.
And on the other side, the grass is much greener.
Is it far?
Far away into the future.
I'd say it was just about here,
said Nutty Noah, pointing to the map.
All aboard the Skylark! All aboard the Skylark!
Well, for a start, the grass is blue here, unless I'm very much mistaken,
said Nelly with a rare grin.
I'm afraid you're right.
Agreed Ahmed.
Unless we are dreaming,
he added.
That's not the point. The fact is, we want to know just how far into the future we are.
Nelly was saying when she spotted tons of stone statues.
Oh, maybe they'll know. Good morning. Could you tell us how far into the future we are?
Inquired Nutty Noah.
First of all, we'd like to thank you for the information about this morning,
said the statue.
You see, for us, it's still yesterday. And secondly, you are not in the future, but in the past. This is a Stone Age.
Oh.
The fact is, we are stuck here, and yesterday is not a good morning. We like to go into the future, but we're more or less based here, if you see what I mean.
on aggregate, sooth to say,
hissed Cynthia.
1923 do me fine right now,
said Humphrey to himself.
1923,
said the middle-aged stone statue.
I like the sound of that.
That's it, Nelly, my dear. The sound of 1923. Wind out the wire wool and get weaving.
Weaving what?
Asked Nelly, rather puzzled.
The instruments, my dear, the instruments. Knit us a few instruments and we'll give 'em a glimpse into the future. Make mine a piano,
snorted Humphrey.
What a lovely idea!
And the band began to play. And everyone danced through the night. And into 1923.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year!
Shouted the Stone Age statues as Skylark went off back into the future.
I hope we're going the right way this time.
Nutty Noah was sitting on the bridge, watching the sun come up. I think I'll have a look at the map, Nelly, my dear.
No, not another journey. We've only just got back. I don't know if I'm coming or going.
Niggled Nelly.
Well, that makes
3 of us,
thundered Rose the elephants, and shook trunks with herself.
Well, that settles it. Come on, me hearties, up to the map room.
And they all trundled off, one by two, and Nelly niggled along behind. Maureen said they'd like to go... muttered everyone.
Why can't we go here? We don't mind,
said Maureen. So that was that,
I think we'd better fly if we're all off to here,
shouted Nutty.
Yes, I think so. All together now. All aboard the Skylark! All aboard the Skylark!
When they arrived, there was nothing to see.
There's nothing there. Here?
Roared Brian the lions.
I knew we shouldn't have come here. There's nothing there. Same as always, the middle of nowhere again,
Niggled Nelly, knitting another sock for Rose.
Don't be so sure of yourselves. I think we've got company.
Moaning and groaning noises came wafting along, followed by a herd of very sad-looking umbrellas who were very upset indeed.
Ahoy there!
Shouted Nutty.
What's up?
That's just the problem. None of us.
Sniffed the umbrellas.
It hasn't rained for ages, and we're all very down.
Get out of that one, Nutty, my dear.
Niggled Nelly with a rare smile.
We will, my dear,
said Nutty, and they wandered off to the wheelhouse, while everyone waited. When they'd waited for longer than a while, Nutty and Nelly wandered out of the wheelhouse, and Nutty beamed at Rose.
Rose, my dear,
He piped.
elephants never forget, do they?
No, we don't.
Boomed Rose and smiled.
I can't remember if we do or do not.
She added.
Well, we'll see.
Grinned Nutty.
Nelly here has knitted a wishing well, so if you could pump water from it, squirt it into the air, and make it rain, the umbrellas will be happy.
No, I couldn't remember how to do that.
Moaned Rose.
Oh, come on, of course I can.
She added, and began to blow water all over Reservoir Desert.
Wonderful!
Shouted the umbrellas.
Wonderful!
It's raining.
Oh, so it is,
Said Nutty.
perhaps we better be off. Come on, Rose, my dears. Your socks will shrink.
And sure enough, they did. Rose had been sent a picture of her great-aunt's Rosalind and was busy in her room drilling a hole for the hook. She'd had to buy an extra large hook because dear Aunt's Rosalind was very large indeed. The rest of the animals, with Nutty Noah and Niggly Nelly, were next door when Rose's drill came right through the wall and right through the centre of the map,
Thank you, Rose, my dears.
said Nutty Noah.
You've solved the problem.
But there won't be anything there.
Said William the Hippos.
That's a hole. It's worth a try.
He went on.
That's the spirit.
Beamed Nutty Noah.
All aboard the Skylark. All aboard the Skylark. Oh, there ain't nothing there here,
Sighed Nutty Noah.
What do you mean there ain't nothing there here?
Nelly niggled as she popped out of a porthole.
Oh, you're right. We'll soon put a stop to that.
How can one put a stop to something that's not even started?
Muttered Ahmed.
By starting something that can be stopped.
He went on.
Oh, you clever old things.
Grinned Nutty.
No, just stop all this nonsense.
Niggled Nelly as she stuck a flag into the nothing.
There.
She said, and smiled, and all the animals cheered and mumbled.
That flag will never fly.
Creaked a crackly voice, and everyone looked round.
What did you say?
It'll never fly. We've had one for months, and look, it just hangs about doing nothing.
Well, we'll soon put a stop to that.
Duh, this stopping and starting is too much for me.
Sighed Ahmed. Within 5 lunar minutes, the flags began to fly as Nelly switched on her latest pride, a knitted wind machine.
Now, why didn't we think of that?
Said the moon men.
Because you ain't Niggly Nelly.
Said Nutty Noah proudly, and the animals jumped over the moon with joy. Or was it a piece of cheese?
late.
You see, Nutty, whenever you sleep late, it means the animals argue amongst themselves.
Noted Nelly.
No, it don't.
Snapped Nutty. Said Humphrey the Pigs.
But could we go there? Of course we can.
Beamed Nutty.
Come on. All aboard the Skylark. All aboard the Skylark. Arr.
When the Skylark arrived, Nutty Noah and Niggly Nelly and the animals saw something strange.
Well, I never, Nelly, me dear. Look at that. Hobby horses with the ump.
Gasped Nutty.
I take it you mean hobby horses with a problem.
Smirked Nelly.
No, my dear. I mean hobby horses with the ump. Look at them. Hundreds of them.
Did someone say hump?
Smiled Ahmed.
No, he said ump.
Tut-tutted Nelly. And Ahmed went on grumbling and laughing.
I say,
Said Nutty to the first horse.
why you all standing around his field?
We're hobby horses.
Whimpered the horses.
I know that.
Said Nutty.
That's why you should have an hobby.
Oh, but we have.
Said the horses.
Our hobby is racing, but we've lost our wheels.
Ha-ha! Lost your wheels, eh?
Boomed Nutty, and all the animals laughed and cried.
Yes,
Sniffed the horses.
the more we raced, the smaller they got.
What you need is new wheels.
Decided the animals.
You're right.
Bellowed Nutty.
Nelly, it is a wheel maker.
All afternoon, the animals worked the wheelmaker. And Rose turned the wheels into a feast.
Hurry! That's a donut machine, Nelly, me dear.
Gasped Nutty.
Leave off there, Rose.
I thought that knitting pattern was a funny recipe.
Quipped Nelly. Nutty invited the horses to a race. So off they went with a bang.
Wonderful, these new wheels.
Said the head horse with a winning smile.
Well, you'd better take the recipe.
Smiled Nelly, looking over at Rose, munching the last spare wheel.
Oh, Nelly! Oh, Nelly!
Nutty Noah was shouting from the map room.
I've a splendid idea for today. Right here, the seaside.
He went on, and all the animals jumped about with excitement and moaned.
Well, I've beaten you to it today, my dear, because we're going shopping to the high street. The larder's almost empty.
Said Nelly, and the animals jumped about with excitement and moaned. That left Nutty with a problem.
I know. What about going shopping at the high street at the seaside?
And the animals jumped about with excitement and excitement.
Oh, Nutty Noah, you cunning old fox.
Well, that's that. I'm in a holiday mood. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. To the seaside we shall go. There, I think. All aboard the Skylark! All aboard the Skylark! Well, I'll eat my hat.
You may well have to if we can't find the shops.
Niggled Nelly.
Let's ask that man. I say, yoo-hoo! Could you please tell us the way to the shops?
asked Nutty and Nelly, but the man couldn't answer for laughing,
What a funny man.
said Rose. She went on, and the man laughed till he couldn't stand up,
I think you'd better have a strong niggle with him.
said Nutty.
You're right, my dear. Young man! Young man! Oh, will you please tell me where we are?
Jokesville! This is Jokesville! Everything's a joke here! Oh, even me!
Things got worse when a crowd gathered and laughed even more. That set the animals off one by two, laughing and laughing,
Oh,
said Nelly as niggly as she could.
where are the shops?
And someone just managed to point,
Thank you.
said Nelly.
I'll be back shortly. Which way's the beach?
She snapped.
Thank you. I'll meet you on the beach. Nutty Nor. Dear.
Huffed Nelly and niggled off.
Now, Nutty, I've bought some knitting needles, so I'll just knit a picnic blanket to sit on. Oh, what's this? Rubber needles! Oh.
Screamed Nelly, and the clowns tumbled about,
Now, just calm down, my dear.
said Nutty Noah.
Have a roll.
Nutty Nor, you always did see the funny side of things. Have a closer look through this telescope I bought you.
Oh, thank you, my dear. I see nothing funny.
Oh, I do. Have you seen your face? Better have a wash, Nutty, my dear. Here, this soap will do the trick.
What a funny day.
The atmosphere was thick with boredom, and the clickety-clack of Nelly's knitting needles rattling away in the corner. Nutty Noah was in a strange mood as he pounded the poop deck, surveying his craft and watching his happily bored beings enjoying themselves in a wonderful state of misery as they played darts with such great skill and farce as had not been seen in a while.
Belay those arrows.
Shouted Nutty Noah.
Come sail under my flag.
Where to?
Asked the animals.
To the back of beyond, without a doubt.
Niggled Nelly.
Place one of your fleet arrows in the map,
Rasped Nutty Noah.
and that'll be our course.
Brian landed a dart in the middle of the map.
Right. All aboard the Skylark. All aboard the Skylark. It's extremely dim around here.
Sighed Nutty disappointedly.
You're right!
Said the animals.
It certainly is dim. Let's go.
Well, at least we're all in agreement about something for once.
Niggled Nelly.
We humbly beg to disagree. That these should darken the doorstep of this theatre is indeed an honor.
What is sad is that our stage is darkened.
Oh, who could have uttered that?
Said Nutty Noah.
We said the words, and better far than most.
You, sir, are welcome here, but alas, there is no light.
Soon fix that.
Said Brian with a spotlight.
Nay, dear boy, there is a greater light.
The light of the mind.
Sighed Nelly.
Yes.
Agreed Nutty Noah.
I am a world-famous ventriloquist, but alas, I've been sold a dummy without the words.
Quick, Rose! Fetch Shakespeare's complete works from the shelf.
This is Shakespeare.
Oh, yes.
Said Nutty Noah.
How wonderful!
Explained the actor.
Something new.
Settle down and take heed.
Snapped Nelly. And the play opened.
After careful measurements have been taken,
Choose the finest wool and cast on 128 stitches.
Or until you have lost count.
Oh, my knitting pattern!
gasped Nelly, and the animals laughed till they cried.
Pick up, knit, purl, and so go on.
Cast off, and at the end of each row, start again.
Pick up, knit,
Oh,
purl,
you must
cast
tell
off.
him!
We know,
said the actor.
Look, I read out the pattern, and my wife made up the garment.
Alas, poor Rose.
Tempers were fraying, and it was a lovely atmosphere as the animals sat about discussing the party pieces Nutty and Nelly had chosen for them in the pantomime game.
I don't care what anyone says. I think it's a rotten idea. I don't know. I thought we looked quite good.
It's all right for you. You don't have to fall off a brick wall and break into bits.
All I can say is I think it's unfair to ask tigers like me to go around following elephants who think she's the Lord Mayor of London. All right, keep your purr. Get it? Purr. Oh, never mind.
So you don't like Nelly's pantomime game idea?
We wanted to go to the pictures today,
said Brian the Lions.
but we are fed up because we can't decide which film we'd like to see. Well, there's only one way to solve that,
said Nelly, rather niggled that her pantomime idea had been shot down.
And what's that?
I'll decide. We'll go and see a family film, then everyone will be happy. Come on, let's get going. Nutty?
Oh, yes, all about the Skylark! All about the Skylark!
Typical,
said Brian.
We thought we was going to see a film, and here we are in television land, and what's on? The news. Well, with a bit of luck, there'll be a film after the news, and everyone will be happy,
said Nelly.
Correct,
said the televisions.
We're so fed up, there isn't a film on after the news. There never is.
Well, what do you have after the news?
asked Nelly with a slight niggle.
More news, all old,
said the televisions.
Old news?
Growled Nutty Noah.
What's the point of that?
None at all,
said the televisions.
but it's better than nothing.
What you need is a good film show.
said Nutty Noah.
You're right.
Said Nelly.
Nutty, get the holiday films out and we'll have a film show.
No projector.
Said Nutty.
Soon fix that.
Oh, yes, of course.
Oh, how splendid,
said the televisions.
Could you wait till after the news?
Well, we'll have to be quick.
Said Nutty.
Oh, we will,
said the televisions, and Nutty went off for the films.
Here's the news. Today was in Parliament and ice creams were in cornets. There were hats on heads and a lot of talk came from mouths. And that is the end of the news. Here is the news. Today was in...
Oi, just a minute. Remember, we've a film show.
Smiled Nutty, and switched on the holiday films.
Remember the spaceman?
Said Nelly.
Oh, yeah.
And that was Cuckoo Land. And there's William in the mud bath. Remember, William?
Do we remember?
Will I ever forget it?
Rose's soup.
To say nothing of the jack-in-the-boxes.
Oh, quickly, Nutty, change the reel.
Said Nelly.
Oh, but we can't watch any more.
Said the televisions.
It's time for the news.
Belay that. There is no news. Today's the 47th of September.
Oh, that's fine then.
Said the televisions, and Nutty turned on the projector.
47th of September?
Ah, well, no news is good news. Here is the news. On the 47th of September, there was no news.